Remember in 2012 when Mitt Romney referred to binders full of women, and that phrase almost single-handedly derailed his presidential campaign? Well, apparently Democrat influencer Harry Sisson has an actual roster full of women. And no, that's not my terminology. No, that's not my accusation. Those are the words, those are the accusations of at least 12 TikTokers who have come forward with their faces and their names attached. Now, in case you don't know who Harry Sisson is, he is a young Democrat influencer. And of course, we all know that the Democrats are struggling with young men. So this is important because they're trying to get young men back into the fold, and Harry Sisson has not only been credibly accused by multiple women, but he's also been accused of taking money from the DNC to post on social media. So I think it's important that we explore who exactly is representing the Democrats and trying to get people into their camp. So here on YouTube, Harry Sisson has over 158,000 subscribers. On Instagram, he's approaching 500,000, but where his star shines the brightest is on TikTok, where he's approaching 2 million followers and has over 154 million likes on all of his videos. Again, in case you're not familiar with him, this is him on Piers talking about genders.
I think there should be more than 2 genders in America.
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means there are 2 genders, male and female. Would you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able
Harry,
to answer.
how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many genders are there?
What's the legal? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least 2. At least 2. That satisfies.
Well, how many more other than male, female?
That's a TikTok answer.
No, there's at least 2.
Yeah.
There's at least 2.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and female.
Kid is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are 2.
Okay, Dave.
How many
Russian
more
Rubin,
are there after male and female, Harry?
There's at least 2. Now, anyway, let me get back to
what
what I was
at
saying.
least
How many
2?
more are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least 2.
What are the other ones?
Harry, let's try it this way. You're a female. What is the other gender?
It's so funny. It's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they all interrupt and there's no problem.
You've just been asked a very simple question, Harry.
Conversation with Piers, not you, Mr. Como-over.
Now, despite the fact that he can't define how many genders there are, and I doubt he could even define what a woman is, take a look at the top pinned post on his X account. In case you don't know what a pinned post is, you can put this at the very top of your profile. America failed women tonight. Trump bullied, assaulted, and stripped reproductive rights away from women all across the country, and instead of standing against it, many voted for it. We have failed our daughters, mothers, and sisters. Now, to be very clear, no one who has come forward yet has accused Harry of SA, sexual assault. What they are claiming is that he has manipulated them into sending nude photos, nude videos, that he apparently tried to, basically date all these women and lie to them and say that they were the only ones. That's why they use the word roster, right? Because he would tell them, and all of them corroborate the exact same story. No, I don't have a roster full of women. So he would talk there is nothing yet that is illegal per se, right? But there is a lot of stuff that speaks negatively to his character. And again, as someone who represents the Democrat Party, as someone who purports to defend women's rights and defend the integrity of women, he definitely is a player. And there's one accusation that potentially involves a minor, but we'll get to that here in a few moments. But over on TikTok, they held a space, and multiple women were on, and this was all hosted by one person, and they all came in to share their stories. Here's just a clip of that.
If he had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people. When we asked, when all, a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? Instead, he lied and said he did not have a roster and that he was not talking to anybody.
Again, the phrase. So that is our first iteration of it. I mean, it was used multiple times on TikTok, but in this video, he refers to, oh, no, I don't have a roster filled with women. Well, here is Sarah, who you obviously did not see there, and she referred to a roster, which is a word that he supposedly told her.
He did inform me that there was no roster, essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from, and I was, again, fine with that. But of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to,
Yeah, so again, is anything here illegal? No, but there are definitely ethical quandaries, and there are definitely a lot of questions about his character. And again, this is a man who claims that he's all about women's rights, and he has lectured MAGA so many times before about how you need to just respect women, and he's just so on this high horse about respecting women. Take a look at this.
To all of the men out there who are going around to women saying, your body, my choice, number one, you're weird. Number two, this is why women don't like you. This is why when you go to the bar, they don't come home with you. And that girl that you were talking to in the bar and she went to find her friends, she wasn't looking for her friends. She was looking for the door to get away from you. Just respect people. It's that easy.
Just respect people, just respect women. And then immediately when it was apparent that Trump had won the election, but it wasn't official, Harry posted this.
So the election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris has not been called yet. We do not know who the winner is, but it is pointing in one direction. And it's not final, but I just wanted to say that America failed women tonight, primarily. Trump has insulted women, berated them, has been found liable in court.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to the point where Harry starts calling all of these women lunatics and starts laughing about them. You want to talk about insults, Harry?
For assaulting a woman, and he took women's reproductive rights away. And instead of standing up to that, people voted for it. And we failed our daughters, our mothers, our sisters, our wives tonight. America failed them. We failed them. It is unfortunately the reality of the situation. So I'm sorry to everybody out there who will be impacted by what may come.
So again, he claims to be a champion for women's rights. Obviously, that entire video was about how America supposedly failed women by electing Donald Trump. Now, all of these accusations really gained traction because of investigative reporter Sarah Field. She posted this online. Harry Sisson convinced 11 different women that he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies, while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat, including one from a domestic abuse survivor. When the women discovered each other one by one, he called them all insane and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public that the photos were fake. Now, ever since she broke the story, Sarah Fields has been getting a lot of death threats. She posted this just a few moments ago, 6:01 p.m. F you, bitch. The MFer should have knocked all your effing teeth out. I mean, she is now in hot water. Her TikTok account, her X account, all of her social media accounts are being mass reported by Harry Sisson's followers and fans. Yes, it's hard to believe he has fans, especially if you are only on X, but the guy is a superstar on TikTok. I don't know how many of my subscribers are on TikTok, but he is everywhere you look. And as you saw, he is also on the Piers Morgan show. Well, before I show you this next clip from Americana Hanna, and it's a 9-minute clip, she goes into a lot of detail, and she actually printed out over 50 pages worth of text messages and photos and other images that she got from her friends. So she came well prepared with evidence. I just want to point out that this isn't a Brett Kavanaugh situation. And what I mean by that is that in Brett Kavanaugh's case, or in really any high profile case, the women who people like Kavanaugh supposedly assaulted come out decades after the fact, right? They come out decades later when something important is about to happen in that man's life. There is no indication that they ever reported it. Some of their friends don't corroborate the stories. When their stories are put under the microscope, there are a lot of plot holes. There are a lot of inconsistencies. What is different in this case is that these females have all come forward and they're showing their faces on TikTok. They're all sharing their story. I've already shown 2 different clips. So here is my question. If these allegations are false, is Harry Sisson going to sue them for libel? Is he going to sue them for defamation? Like, why would these women, unless they're truly idiots, I mean, and that is a possibility. They're obviously all liberals if they're following him and fangirling over him. But truly, like, it would be very clear. It would be an easy defamation case to win, right? If they posted it knowing it was false, there was actual malice. Like, you could go down the list. But they are putting themselves out there publicly. And the fact that it's more than one, and now it's 11, 12, and growing, to me, that gives a lot of credence to what these women are saying. And hey, didn't the Democrats say believe all women? I'm personally, I still believe in innocent until proven guilty, so I'm not going to make a judgment on Harry, but I do think that it is a bad look, and I do think it is hypocritical if these allegations are true, which it's looking like it is, just based on common sense, that this man supposedly championed women's rights. But anyways, here is Hanna's story.
Shall we? So before I get into these around 50 screenshots providing evidence and context for anything that I have said, I do want to reiterate something just for even more context. I met Harry in summer of 2020. We were both kind of like the original political TikTokers, and we were on the Dem Hype House, which was a huge political TikTok account. Our relationship has always been friend-based. However, when I did go to Jersey to visit my aunt, he has a summer house there, so we did hook up a couple times. So it was kind of like friends with benefits, but it was kind of established that if we saw each other in person, we'd probably hook up. But our conversations outside of seeing each other in person or whatever were never really like flirty or anything like that. So I was never under any sort of impression that we were exclusive ever. We never were like that. So my story is going to be different than a lot of these girls. Just putting that out there. So up until about maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered Harry one of my best friends. And let me know if you see a pattern here. But what really kicked that off was that he was the one recording my rapist when I called him and got him admitting to raping me on audio, okay? Which was great, whatever. And then Harry started drinking. So when Harry started drinking, he started getting a lot more aggressively flirty. I apologize for my hand tremors, I can't control them, but if you want to pause and screenshot those, these are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and saying very sexual things to me. I didn't really care, you know, it's whatever, drunk words, sober thoughts, you get it. And then this is when I noticed kind of a shift in Harry. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following, and he created a Discord in which it was a very exclusive Discord, and very strange, creepy people were allowed in the Discord. I was in it for a little bit, but I was like never allowed to talk in it. So that's where Harry meets somebody named Camille, okay? I was advised not to, by my father, not to pursue an internship or a job with this Camille guy because my dad said he looked sketchy. Harry decided to go ahead and do so. And this is when I started getting messages from a minor, whom I will not say the name, with autism, who is also in the Discord. He was probably around 14 at the time. And he was sending me some concerning things regarding what Camille would send to him. Those are things I cannot show for legal reasons, but very much so did happen, and I contacted his mom, everything. But you know who was working for him? Harry. And I told Harry about everything that Camille was doing. Here's the proof of that. This is a conversation between Camille and the minor in question. Camille texts him, why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? And in those same texts, you will see him saying he's going to lose a business partner, aka Harry. Now, Harry...
I'm just going to pause this to say, I know the screenshots are small because this was filmed obviously for TikTok. If you are watching this on your phone, you should be able to pause the video and zoom in to read those screenshots.
Would respond with, yeah, that's super messed up. I won't work for him anymore. That's crazy. And then I got this message from the minor saying that Harry still is working for Camille. So I reach out to Harry. And this is the conversation from that little debacle. And then it got to a point wherein I was seeing if I should be contacting the police because this minor happens to be based internationally. He's not in America. And I advised Harry that I'm doing so, and he starts advising me not to do so. Through FaceTime audio, mind you. But here's the conversation about him advising me not to do so. And if you see with all of the other girls too, he loves calling women lunatics, they're crazy, conspiracy theory, his favorite. Okay, let's continue. Oh, here's a random little tidbit, not really related to what I'm talking about, but I figured I'd share screenshots of Harry with my saved inappropriate photos in the chat. See, I am really sitting here admitting that I did send inappropriate, because it was like a fun little fling. For me, this is like less about the romantic part of anything. I don't really mind that. I don't like that they're saved, but like the whole inappropriate photos thing, not really my main issue. The context of it is though, so hold on. So here's me saying point blank to Harry, what's a conspiracy theory? The grooming part or me quite literally finding your relationship with Camille and all of this is suspicious. That's a speculation, not a theory. Anyway, and this is after...
Oh, I'm going to pause this. I know she said this a few minutes ago, but I just realized just now that a lot of you may not know what Discord is. So Discord, and this is probably a bad explanation, but you can essentially create a chat room just for whoever you want to invite to it. And so this is important because she has now referenced the Discord where, you know, Harry's part of it, other guys are part of it, a few women have joined. It's, like she said, very exclusive, and I will actually show you a video later on of a separate female confirming that this Discord does in fact exist.
Harry called me about 20 times and me not answering, and him saying, this is truly insane, like, Hanna, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. Essentially, like, putting his issues with Camille above the fact that he's literally grooming a minor. Eventually, however, I was manipulated into thinking that he was no longer working for Camille. Whoops. So then October 7th happens. I don't know if I showed this already, but this is also important in the context of everything. I'm sorry, this is so confusing. Everything is everywhere. Okay. So then Harry calls me saying that he's making some federal complaint against Camille. Okay, and I'm like, period, right? And so here's that conversation. Essentially, he tells me that 2 other people are in on it. And then I said, okay, we had a little tiff pass behind us. We're homies now. He then asked me for nudes, unsent the message. And that's what I was talking about when I said, tried to get me to send him nudes because he pretended that he cared about the predation. So I said, I saw that, you freak. Are you drunk or something? Okay. But I didn't realize that until way later on, because then October 7th happened and we were constantly arguing about that. So here is me trying to call Harry because I was trying to talk to him about, you know, Middle East stuff. He questions. He says he's tired. I say whatever. He goes, you know what it's a perfect time for though? Referring to nudes. I said, you're funny. Then he unsent a message and I said, I saw that, you freak. Anyways, then I had a phone call with the minor. He called me at like 10 p.m. I was like, what the fuck? I answer and he's asking these really, really strange questions. And I'm like, what the hell? Come to find out, Harry and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. So if I say anything in the future, I'd lose my credibility. Okay. And here, I know it's small, I was trying to preserve ink, and I know it's probably going to be backwards too, whatever. I'll post these more straight up next time. That is the fake cease and desist I received soon after for $500,000, accusing me of racism on TikTok because I have anti-Zionist approaches to things, amongst a ton of other insane things, which I will share later on. So I confronted him about it, yada, yada, yada. And if I didn't already have enough proof of him asking me for inappropriate pictures at very inappropriate times, here's more, where I say to him, so true, he wanted me to stop picking an argument with him, stupid. So true, I'll meet you in the middle. Next time you want inappropriate pictures, just find someone else and leave me alone next time. He said, yeah, that definitely works for me. So there's him admitting that. Anyways, here's also more creepy text regarding inappropriate photos. I don't remember the context of some of these, so. Now when the creepy texts and threats come in, this is my favorite part. All of these, okay, all of these are all screenshots of threatening texts I got. But it doesn't end there. I have an audio. So I got a phone call from a blocked number when I was home in California. My sister recorded this, and this is kind of what happened.
Who? Don't post anything about who?
Camille.
Who's Camille? I was lying.
Maroon.
Oh, Camille Maroon. Or what? Or what?
Oral
There's an example. So when Harry and I kind of went dark, you know, like we stopped talking to each other altogether, it was because he found out that I was still talking to this guy I used to talk to. And he called me, told me to go fuck myself. Was just super fucking pissed that that was happening. So maybe he thought I owed something to him, but I didn't. And I didn't think he thought I did. I don't fucking know. Also the end all was the loss of my now regrettable friendship with my old friend Melina, whom I have a screenshot on that. This is her essentially ending the friendship with me because I was posting shit about Harry. So, I mean, who knows? I don't know if any of this made sense. I'm really sorry that all of this is backwards in regards to the screenshots. I will be kind of breaking it down in parts, but this is just kind of the full account. There are definitely things that I missed and screenshots that I did not show because it's just I don't have much time left in this. So there's more to the story, but there's just some evidence on some of this stuff.
So she referenced two separate things there. Number one, she referenced one of their mutual friends going to Harry's defense, and a lot of people are jumping to his defense, especially on TikTok. His followers are rabid, and they, you know, if you're only on X, a lot of people on X make fun of Harry Sisson. They call him Harry Sissy or Sissy Boy, but on TikTok, it is a totally different story. And Gen Z, believe it or not, especially Gen Z females, really look up to this guy. Next, what she also referenced there, she talked about, she played the audio. She didn't say who called. She just said it was a blocked number. But this is not an accusation. This is not me reporting the news. This is just me giving my opinion. I want to be very clear about that. It is my opinion. But as someone who has watched a lot of Harry's content, it sounded like Harry's voice and he was just saying it to be lower. Like maybe speaking from chest voice, like, I'll kill you. Like, because if... obviously, whoever called had to have been related to him, and I just can't imagine someone having a connection, especially at his age, but just in general, of getting a third party to call someone else, especially a female, and threaten to kill them on the phone. Like, I just find that hard to believe. So, you know, to me, it sounded like his voice just modulated and really coming from chest voice and really sinking it down low. Now, what also stood out to me is that these women all have screenshots of their interactions with Harry. So he would send them pictures of himself on TikTok after they sent him nudes, and he would respond flirtatiously. I think that's a good idea. GD, well, I certainly dig you. One of them, he texted this: I never lied to you. We were not exclusive, and I made it abundantly clear I didn't want that, and you said that was fine. Apparently, all these girls say that is not true, and that he's actually gaslighting them. Again, Harry is supposedly all about women and respecting women. Not looking that way. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. What and why are you screenshotting? So for those of you who don't have Snapchat, whenever you screenshot a photo, the other person gets a notification that you just screenshot it. So a lot of these women screenshot their text and like any responses that he sent. Here's another one. After this girl sent Harry photos, you can see he responded, "Damn, you're sexy. I'd F you raw after wine tasting, but that's just me." And then he would respond very aggressively once they sent him photos. And of course, I can't share the nude photos, and many of those girls didn't either. Again, there's questionable stuff about the minor, right? The accusation that Hanna made. And Hanna, I mean, unless she is just an idiot and opening herself up to defamation and lawsuits and all of that, like, why would you do that? You know? And so there's that. But then this thing is so huge in the sense that there are so many women at the same time coming forward. Like, unless this is a coordinated smear campaign, which I highly doubt, just again on a personal level, I personally sort of, you know, believe the women. Yes, I do believe in innocent until proven guilty, but at the same time, I also believe in common sense. Now, what Hanna referred to was that Harry would tell, and well, all the women say it too. I obviously can't show all the clips. This video is already on 24 minutes, but he would call them lunatics. So here's actually a stream with Chris Mowry, who is also another young male Democrat influencer, and they're talking, and Harry texts Chris, an exchange with one of the girls, and you can hear him, Harry, refer to all the females, or this particular female, as a lunatic, and him and Chris have a laugh about it.
Live, don't read on live. Yeah, I saw about this. Like, actually lunatics. Like, genuinely, they are. This individual in question is insane.
Wait, who is that?
And so, I'll send. Yeah, I can share with Chris. I'll send screenshot. Yeah, no, like legitimately, Chris and I have been talking about this for days now.
Uh-oh.
This individual
Wait,
is
who?
fucking crazy.
Wait,
bro.
what?
If you want to support the live,
bro,
makes an
that
incredible
bro.
mentos. I'm saying, dude. I am saying.
No, you be good out there, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
You be safe.
That's what. That's also. What
He
I'm
said.
saying,
That's what he
Kogo.
said. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Lunatics, obviously, he gaslit all of them, and a whole bunch of lies. Last but not least is Reese, who has come out to confirm Diana's story. Diana was the one who hosted the space with all the other victims.
I never anticipated that I would need to speak on this, but here we are. So this is a story about a certain political TikToker, and also I just wanted to come on here and confirm Diana's video that she posted last night and tell my side of the story because there's a lot to unpack.
So again, she's confirming what's already been put out there. But what was really interesting is she specifically confirms this Discord where a lot of young men, supposedly invited by Harry and other people, were exchanging photos, and many photos, including of these women. And then obviously from Hanna's accusations, there was a minor. She referred to him as being 14 years old.
Because I'm 18 and I was freshly 18 when we started talking. A little after that, it became flirty, and that was introduced by me. I will be completely transparent and honest about this entire thing. And then shortly after, he asked me if I had Snapchat, and I added him on Snapchat. So we started talking on there, and almost immediately, not even almost, like literally immediately, the first message was something like explicit, or asking me to get explicit, and I was like, well, I've never done this before, and I'm also like more of a get coffee first kind of girl, and like I'm always going back and forth to the city, so if you want to hang out, I would be down to hang out. So flash forward a little bit, because I was really involved in like actual politics and participating in watching his lives and doing all that stuff, this girl who I had been in contact with reached out to me asking if I would tell him to join this Discord that they had made, and I also helped participate in making like some of the features in the Discord. So he joined, and then that's when things went downhill. This is the part where I need to take accountability, because yes, I was talking to people that I trusted, and I just trusted the wrong person, but I also shouldn't have taken the photo without his consent. To be fully clear, the photo was messages that we exchanged back and forth, and he said something kind of like like it was crazy, so I had to take a picture of it, but I have never saved or sent any photos or anything like that he had sent me. So this photo got around, he was really mad.
Photo of her text exchanges with Harry, in case that's not clear. And I should have said this before starting it, but this was originally a 9-minute video, and as you can tell, I've actually edited it down shorter. So I'm only showing you 3 portions of the video just because I already showed you Hannah's story, and I don't want to show another 9-minute video, so this is just the relevant portion.
And we had spoke about it, and he wasn't even that mad, he just seemed like unwilling to talk about it. And he had told me basically that the only way that he would talk about it with me and work it out was if I had sent him this video that he wanted of me. Which at the time I was just not comfortable with doing that, and yeah. So that in itself is just incredibly manipulative behavior, and I had called him out for it, and he was like, that's not manipulative.
Oh yeah, that's 100% gross. I have never asked anyone for a video of themselves doing something raunchy to like get along with them. Like, who does that? I mean, I get couples, you know, in loving consensual relationships may send like loving texts or images or whatever you do in your private life is up to you, right? But to do that to someone else, almost in an extortion kind of way, is really sick, really gross. But at the end of the day, all these women want is they just want an apology, and he has not done that. Instead, he's gone out calling them lunatics. He's called them crazy. He's called them conspiracy theorists. He's called them crazy fangirls. And now his fan base is like going crazy. They're attacking Sarah Fields, and all these girls are going private. It's really sad what's happening. But here, again, they just want an apology.
They just did not hold themselves accountable at all and were absolutely ridiculous and calling the girls lunatics and just being outrageous. How are you going to be a TikToker or any influential person to young girls and talk about women's rights and talk about these important things that you apparently value, and then treat girls behind the scenes, women behind the scenes, like they're nothing? The big thing about this is that most of us knew that it wasn't just them, and most of us don't care that he was talking to other people. The biggest thing is that he lied over and over and over again. He manipulated people. I don't know if you guys have seen Carly's video. Please check out Carly's video. She was essayed, and around the time that she was essayed, he started talking to her explicitly, and she had sent him photos, and she didn't want to send him photos or have them saved if he was talking to other people. I really just want this guy to come out and apologize to everyone and take accountability for his actions instead of saying boys will be boys and calling girls lunatics. Their feelings are 100% valid.
Yeah, so again, right there, they just want an apology. But as always, all of that is just my perspective. That is my take on the situation. And I tried to be very fair as far as putting all the evidence out there and not just telling you, right? Not just telling you what the accusations are, but playing the video clips of these actual women and all their different stories and how they seem to line up. They line up on the Discord. They line up on being called crazy. They line up on being gaslit. They line up on the text messages back and forth. And so when you take a look at it as a whole, it just does not look good. Again, Harry Sisson is a Democrat influencer. There have been many accusations. I personally have not been able to validate this, but there have been accusations that he's been paid by the DNC. And even if he's not paid by the DNC, the reality is that he still represents or is a representative of the Democrat Party, and his work is not... Look, me on this channel, I am very clear. I am an analyst and I am a commentator. Those are the two things that I do. Like, I want to be known as a commentator. Harry Sisson is a flat-out activist. This is someone who is trying to help the Democrat Party win elections. This is someone who wants to grow the Democrat Party base. But specifically, I think if the Democrat Party is paying him, they're probably paying him to try to reach younger males. But then, as evidenced by his TikTok, his largest audience is young women, and he claims to defend women, and yet you have all these different stories come out, and who knows what else is going to come out. A lot of times, when there's smoke, as they say, there's a fire. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Am I too hard on Harry Sisson? Do you think I messed up by making this video? Or do you think, hey, maybe there is something here? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Typically, this is the part where I would do the Governor's Club. For those of you who don't know, the Governor's Club is a new segment where I show all the people who have done super thanks or have tipped me here on the channel, but due to the nature of this video, I'm not going to air the Governor's Club in this one. But in my next upload, I will resume that, and depending on the news stories of the day, maybe respond to a few comments. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.